On this week's episode, we talk about the new Avatar, Way of the Water.
And other pop culture news from the week. The long-awaited, much hyped Avatar sequel is finally out in theaters in every format you can imagine. And
In new ones?
yeah, a format that I haven't even heard of. Like literally, that's not hyperbole.
You didn't see The Hobbit on high frame speed?
I may have, but I didn't really know what that was at the time.
It was Peter Jackson, I think, was probably one of the first that did massively with The Hobbit, the first one, and all the subsequent ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was movies are traditionally recorded in 24 frames per second, and he was experimenting on 48 and 72.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
So he ended up releasing on 48 in select theaters. Avatar is doing the same this. First of all, before we get to more details about about the movie, there's no such thing as a spoiler because if you're a little bit observant, is that a word?
Observant.
You're gonna realize by the trailers, period, this is basically the same movie as the first one. You know, character development, story arc, and big story arc to spread through different movies. The guy's not capable of it unless he's either copying, ripping other people's contents, which he does. Or he has help. And in this one, he has help. And it's still quite the same movie. But like there's some things, new characters there, but not enough to change. Anyways, the main message. But back to that. Talking about the technical aspects of the movie, the high frame rate, the 3D, the IMAX. Right out of the gate, I thought the 3D was a gimmick. It's not as good as the first one. And the first one I had really hard time watching because I had my glasses were like curved, you know, like sports people's glasses, athletes' glasses. And because they're curved, putting another glass on the top was like very uncomfortable and foggy, all that. And so, but even with that hard time to watch, I felt like the 3D was like deeper, was better than this one. This one, it feels like it was a converted movie, which I should double check. And a converted movie is like the Ant-Man trailer.
Right.
That Ant-Man trailer was not shot in 3D.
Right.
But it was converted in 3D for being released with this 3D movie. So there's that. The movie does look better. The characters look better, look more realistic, if you can say that, because they're not real.
Yeah.
So that changed tones of color, that changed texture. It does look better. The world, the environment where we see the story taking place is basically the same as the first one. The first one was earthy forests, jungles, rivers, mountains, environment. Very earthy because we have similar stuff here on Earth. And this one is quite the same, plus the addition of...
But now it's in the ocean.
There's a lot more water and water animals. So, okay.
Yeah, so I would agree. Visually, it was beautiful as advertised. And yeah, everything he said is totally spot on. The effects were fantastic. There was no moment where I thought, I never thought, oh man, this is terrible CGI or whatever. They really did do a good job with that. I forgot I was watching it in 3D, but I wouldn't recommend seeing it in 3D if you're doing IMAX, because even we get really good seats, like right in the middle of the theater, so you can see everything. But when you're wearing those glasses, anything happening in the periphery, you can, like with the 3D glasses, you have to be looking right at it. And so the stuff happening in the periphery, you can see like the like the lines or whatever. I don't know if you noticed that. And so it kind of breaks the immersion. Like you have to turn your head to look at it and see it the way it's supposed to be. If that makes sense.
It does, but for me,
and that's just a problem with 3D. That's not a problem with this movie. That's just a problem with IMAX 3D that bugs me. Like it for me, it breaks the feeling of being like immersed in the movie because you have these glasses on, and then you have to, if you're not looking at it in just the right way, you can tell that it's the 3D effect doesn't work, and so there's that.
Yeah, but for me, the whole immersion problem with this movie, which it might happen in any other movie, and for him, it's in the Avatar movies, the first one as well. It's a story. It doesn't grab you and hug you. It does not excite. It's besides the fact that it's the same story. I don't know if you would use different actors. I don't know if it's an acting problem. It's you come up. We saw the trailer with the copy of Avatar IMAX. There was a couple special look at some new movies coming, and it was Oppenheimer. That was like short and sweet, and by sweet I mean like wow.
Yeah,
it looks good. Based on a true story about Oppenheimer, the scientist that helped or created the atomic bomb. The other one was what was the other one?
Mission Impossible.
And there was another one. What was it? Yeah, was Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, Barbie. No, Barbie was something else.
Truly, I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
That and Ant-Man, those were like the big ones that I was excited about.
Oh, but Ant-Man's the two we saw a couple of times.
Yeah, but not in 3D.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, let's stick to that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is gonna be 7 and 8 movies.
Yeah.
And is exciting. You hear the soundtrack, the music.
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum. It's like and on the big screen gets dark, and the originals had the fuse burning. Yeah. Came from good TV, so it was a good source material.
Mm-hmm. But you care about the character.
Yeah.
Like,
and
he
Tom
shows
Cruise,
up, you are invested, and he's gonna risk his life, and all these other people, they're gonna be in so much danger, and you care about them, and you want the world to be saved, and you know that the mission is possible because they've done it so many times, but you're still into it.
And and they're gonna do many other times, and Tom Cruise will survive, even though he tries not to.
But will he? Will he?
Because
he drives a motorcycle off a cliff?
On this one, they went to Denmark.
Norway.
Yeah. They went to some high cliff in Norway.
So beautiful.
And decided to jump out of in a motorcycle
yeah.
And Tom Cruise actually did it.
More than once.
Yeah. It's like, wow. That excites. So Avatar lacks of that. It feels like, I don't know.
It does. The characters felt really flat. They felt like, and the thing is, I want to say they felt like archetypes, but I love other movies with archetypes, and they don't feel flat. Like Han Solo does not feel flat at all. And even though he's an archetype, he's the rogue with a heart of gold. So I've been thinking about this. But
and that's right. With Solo,
these characters are so they're just flat. They're it's like they're cut out of a magazine and slapped in here.
And
here's the princess who's going to be the love interest, and the rebellious son, and the worried father, and the angry mother. I don't know. It's just
yeah. It's you mentioned Solo like many other characters. It's right. Some characters right out of the gate. They catch your eye. It's like, I like this guy. This guy is cool. Anyways,
yeah. Or you believe in them, or you care about them, or you're compelled by them. This one, I did not feel that at all about. any of them, even though it was beautiful. And then everything that, and I feel like James Cameron really just shot himself on the foot with this, because overall the movie was fine, but I kept hearing Cameron's like self-aggrandizing comments just like blaring in my ears throughout the whole thing. Like that comment he made about female empowerment. I'm like, okay, if you say this is like the most female empowerment in a film ever.
And he namely said there's even bigger than Wonder Woman.
And to be clear, I and several of my peers went to Wonder Woman and wept. Just like openly wept because of the beauty and the power and that we saw in that film and because of how it made us feel. So it's a really high bar. This one, nothing. There was no moment where I was like, wow.
You know,
I feel so good about being a woman. All the main characters are men. Oh my gosh.
Maybe it's because he called his deity a woman. Maybe because his god is a woman.
Maybe because a pregnant woman is like, no, I'm gonna go to war. But like it. In fact, there was a lot of the opposite. Yeah. You want to talk about female empowerment, and we won't get into it because it's so cliche. Like,
yeah, no, and it's like on the woman. Wonder Woman was terrific. Was done properly. The woman is the power. The woman is the lead. She's the hero, but she doesn't diminish the man. You know, like several other shows do.
Yeah, and her strength and her power came from like feminine thing. Like she was feminine strength, feminine power, and it was like love and caring and marching into no man's land to save people because she cares about oh man.
Yeah.
It was so good. And this one, like, it's just a bunch of guys bossing around the girl. Like,
yeah, no, and again, his comments the other day, he said that he doesn't need, what was it? Streaming service. He has this every night when he goes to bed, his streaming service activates.
Yeah, which good for him. Good for him. He said if you go to the bathroom, you have to watch the whole movie again.
No.
There were several moments you could go to the bathroom and be just fine.
You could go to the bathroom and take a nap.
Yeah.
And then get popcorn. And maybe go to your car, get something, and go back. You still not miss.
You would not miss anything for the plot. And a lot of like the beautiful, stunning scenes. I can show you the episode of BBC Earth or any of David Attenborough's documentaries where he talks about like sea life. Because that's all this was. It was like, okay, coral reef, but with a couple of different shapes, but slightly alien, and whales, but with Maori tattoos.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was like, whoa, this is so cool and innovative and different. I've never seen it. No, we've seen all of this before. And overall, like I said, the movie was fine. But he spent so much time this has to make $2 billion and it's the greatest thing to ever happen and you can't miss a second, and none of that is true.
It's to add to all that, or maybe I'm repeating myself, the movie is long.
It's so long and it doesn't need to be
that long. It is long because the story. Because the environment, I don't know, maybe people love to watch this. People that work on 24/7 on a concrete jungle in the city, in a cubicle. Maybe people love to go to these beach planets with forests and I don't know. I don't know if there's the China aspect too. I think the Chinese actually like this. That's what helped the box office last time, which it doesn't happen for every movie. Like they love Transformers, but they kind of hated Star Wars, and that was because of racism, because they had a black guy, and there's those questions. But either way, the movie is way too long for a story that would take, I don't know, a 40-minute episode.
Yeah, there's not a lot
the
to
contemplation. And it's almost like self-contemplation, James Cameron's like, oh, look at this, I made this so beautiful. You can totally see him saying that. Like, I screamed at the Oscars, I'm the king of the world. Anyways.
Well, I mean, good for him. He won, 11 Oscars for that?
No, it wasn't that many. It was 8.
Was it?
We'll double check on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, credit where credit is due. And Terminator is I love that movie. It's so much fun. So I'm not saying he's a terrible filmmaker, but he's not as great as he thinks he is. and really you could tell the story. You could watch this story could be told, like you said, like 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. Let's be generous. Let's give him an hour and a half, and then you could spend the other and a half watching nature documentaries and have the same experience. But the nature documentaries are like real and not a weird. And I'm really curious if anybody's going to talk about cultural appropriation or anything like this, because of how these water people are basically, it's like whale rider. You know how people say the first one was Pocahontas? This one we get into like whale rider and like I don't know. It just
yeah.
It was fine, but it wasn't great. And he spent so much time promising greatness. Whereas,
I remember when he released the first one and he said it would be the Star Wars for Next Generation. The Star Wars is a combination of so many elements. You know, there's the Japanese Kurosawa influence, there's the Tolkien influence, there's the cowboy western influence, there's the Nazi World War II. The war. What's it called? The World War II. The less good wars. Yeah,
I think so.
So there's all that combined in the a little bit of Cold War. You know, in the princess and the knights and the scoundrel.
Yeah,
and
it's like ancient mythic archetypes that resonate in our souls.
A captivating cast. You know, Harrison Ford is. The guy did everything and still doing it. And it's artist of the century, if you might say. Carrie Fisher, you know, is an empowered princess. She does get captured, but she confronts the enemy eye to eye. And when it's time to fight, she grabbed the blaster. It's like, let's go, fly boy.
She leads, she inspires.
So you have so many elements that role models, and
villains who are terrifying.
Yeah,
there's actually this great video going around of a dog watching A New Hope. And when Darth Vader walks through the door for the first time, like emerges from the smoke, the dog jumps off the couch and hides.
Yeah. And
excuse me.
If anything, it's on this one. There's I mean, it's a problem that came in the first one. It just continued in the second one. There's not the characters don't captivate you enough to care. And he was complaining that the Marvel movies could not build relationships. And I don't know, when Iron Man died, people felt it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he and Pepper and a kid that he barely had. They actually cut a scene that at the end when he died, he actually would see his daughter. But anyways, this movie does not excite, and because it does not excite, and the story is not interesting because it's the same as the first one, it's so long, it's tiresome. And I'm not saying that because we watch like late night, but because, you know, when it's interesting, when they catch you, you would go overnight. But anyways,
I think the moral of the story is the other thing I was thinking of throughout the whole film is this idea that greatness doesn't need to say it's great.
Yeah,
it just is. I think of all of Christopher Nolan's films, which are like mind-bending, mind-breaking, like great storytelling, great filmmaking. I can't think of a single quote where he's like, "Yes, I'm the greatest."
You actually said that.
Did he?
No.
Okay, well.
But it's
the greats don't say they're great. Or like Steven Spielberg, for example, who's like arguably the greatest director ever, if you want to look at just like filmography. And yeah, well, that's debatable. But like the greats don't say they're great. They just make a movie.
Yeah.
And it's not like every. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
greatness doesn't have to say it's great, and that's really telling how much.
Yeah, the themes are you know, he goes for the environmental warrior that he did on the first one. The first one was about trees and the forest and the mineral, the unobtainium, ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, and this one the great villains are whalers, whale hunters.
Whale hunters.
Which we already did that in Free Willy, man.
Yeah, and it's
First
of all, you have the revenge element of a villain that was pretty weak on the first one. There was the general commander, whatever. So they cloned him and bring him back. And but there's like, it takes so long for that to develop. Then it comes another villains, comes the whalers, and at the end, it's I don't know. The movie is getting good rates from critics. That doesn't mean anything. But the initial reviews from fans are not bad too. It's going down, it's slowly going down, but we'll see as it develops. There's definitely two things that I see benefiting the movie. Is the fact that it is beautiful, and some of the young adults or even adults watching now, they were kids or young kids back when the original was released, so they remember the magic of seeing the world of Pandora. And it's I don't know, it doesn't expand, it kind of go back inside itself, because one of the things that I remember seeing the on the first one, because the movie is called Avatar, and Avatar is a in this case physical, but in the case of video games and social media, is an imagetic representation of yourself that is used for many purposes. So on the original, they would create a body to interact with the locals and go to the jungles where humans couldn't go, yada yada yada. But one thing that I always thought about the first one, and when he said he would expand, is the fact that when you arrive at Pandora, we have a big planet in the back. You have another moon here, another moon here, and they always go there. They have the Avatar technology to go anywhere, but he only goes to that magical paradise planet that's, gave him a lot of money and will give him a lot of money, and he doesn't care about the story. That's why they have like 2 other people to write the story with him, and the story remains the same. Just one quick final note is the music. Even some bad movies have like a music that gets you involved, and it might go against Eisenstein editing theoretic that movies shouldn't have sound, and that music will guide you. But forget about that. Maybe he's that deep into the theory. I doubt it. But the music helps get you. And what's the problem? You dare to be got, you dare to be entertained. And the music on Avatar is so bland, it's so flat. You would not be able to remember.
I finally figured it out. James Cameron, he thinks he's using archetypes, but they're cliches and not archetypes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So like an archetype would be like Star Wars. These are archetypes that we fill in, but like they're rich and they're compelling and everything else. Whereas in the Avatar movies, it just comes across as cliches.
Yeah.
Like it's been done before. And same thing with the music. It was just like generic.
It's so generic.
Action movie.
When I remember when I first watched The Lord of the Rings, and back then I never seen any the Americans that watched with me, they watched the animation and they loved the animation for The Hobbit. Some of them read the books. I never read the books. I never saw the animation. Anyways, but the music was so good.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I have to have the soundtrack. I bought the soundtrack, and I could listen for hours and hours, and the music would bring back me to the movie, as the movie takes you back to it's this cycle. And with Avatar, it's like it could have no music because you don't remember. Anyways, anything else about that big blue piece of?
Yeah. Well, we've got 26 minutes of content about that. So,
which is already too much.
The movie is fine if you want to see it, if you enjoy it, by all means. But, it's just not what he insists it is.
Yeah.
So
It's I don't know. Some of the problems we have nowadays with the movies being woke, imposing agendas and teaching, trying to preach ideologies of any kind. This one doesn't have much of that, but there's the whale hunters, but that's not even new. Like, I'm pretty sure there's old movies that deal with that.
Oh yeah, Free Willy, Star Trek 4.
Oh,
they were like the great villains of the 90s. Those are like my generation millennials are like, whales are the best.
Anyways,
whale hunters are evil.
Maybe that's why he's making so much money, because these kids are like, whales again.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's not stuff like that, but the villain is weak. The odds are, first of all, and I'm gonna cut on this. The comes the problem to the same place where they were in the first movie, and then Jake Sully is there with his family, now has a family, so comes a problem, a threat to their people, to his family. His first react is, let's get out. What the heck? And he does that again in another moment of the movie. I was like, what kind of character development? Like in the first movie, it's like we stay, we fight, and now it's like, no, let's get out, guys. Yeah, it's like we can't win.
This is not the behavior I expect from someone who finishes a movie like this. Like,
and with that amazing
it's not a cut and run face,
open of eyes, we're gonna conclude our review of Avatar: Way of the Water. And I don't know, I expect so much more, not only because of Cameron, because in his case I did the movie because of Way of the Water. I thought they would go deep into a mythology of water, like Atlanteans or something like that. It's just they just live by the beach. They really take care and interact with the fauna, with the animals, and their 3 years under the water. But besides that, yeah.
All right.
Anyways, Avatar is A Way of the Water. It's available in movie theaters everywhere. You're pretty sure you can find, if you want, you can find anywhere. It's actually kicking out some other movies we want to watch because it's like taking out the spots.
So many screens.
For instance, there's
37 formats.
There's a theater, I can't remember the place, but it was on the news, that is showing 55 times in 24 hours. So I guess the movie theater owners need to get super excited because he made money last time, so this guy must make money this time. So let's, and I guess it's maybe that helps him making money, even though it's like when you don't have options, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Anyways,
but all right.
But these days, different than back in the day, he's going hard against. He's going against a hard wave of streaming, so people do have options. People can watch other things at home, or people can watch this at home instead of
Yeah. All right, speaking of things to watch at home, we streamed a bunch of things that we actually genuinely liked. First, It's a Wonderful Binge. This is on
Hulu. It's a Hulu original. It's a sequel for the movie called The Binge.
Yep.
Which was a fictional United States of America, where the 69th Amendment, 69, determined that drugs are illegal, but once a year, one day, all bets are open.
Yeah, you could drink all the alcohol, you can use all the drugs.
It's like the stoner dream version of the Purge.
Yep. So the premise for this one is that they've made, since the holidays are just unbearable without the help of various substances, they've made Christmas Eve the day of the binge. And so this...
It's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
No, it's Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Christmas Eve. So this is a holiday-themed, drug-fueled shenanigans, malarkey, misadventures comedy. Basically.
Yeah. And I feel like as crazy as the movie is, as crazy as it sound, I feel like it's funny, but it uses the craziness to get some of the funniness, but it moves away from. It kind of protects himself around craziness, because if you're gonna watch 80s movie, they are as crazy as Animal House, The Bachelor Party, and they are funny, but they did things, they got away with things that nowadays they couldn't, and that goes to the whole comedies, they are not funny. So this one, there's funny moments, definitely, and they have to go crazy on the side of crazy they can, because drugs, Hollywood's for liberals, drugs are cool, social or not.
Yeah, drugs don't have the stigma they used to.
Yeah. So they lean hard towards that, which causes some funny moments, because I'm like, and it's trying hard to be funny using the stuff you can, and not simply trying to be funny like it was back in the day, like some comedians still do. They impose themselves barriers that limit them, and it wasn't. I think the first one I definitely liked more, and this one less. Yeah. But it's if you like to have a laugh.
Yeah, that's all this is.
Stoned or not. Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's almost the same cast from the first one, but this one has Danny Trejo, which is probably one of the funniest parts of the movie.
I think the highlight was that. The Danny Trejo, Eduardo Franco.
He's Angel.
Yes.
Angel.
George Bailey arc.
Yeah.
Was definitely the highlight of that film. Okay, we also finished up the. Anything else on that?
Just what I said, that they created like things that some people tell comedians they can't go, and this movie tries to follow that. Like, for instance, there's no sexuality. There's no nudity, right?
Oh no!
No, I'm just saying that when you're thinking craziness, people are always stoned and drugs. Like, that's odd that it doesn't go to that direction. Which back in the day,
well, it is Christmas, winter.
Which back in the day,
want to be dressed.
Someone would like take a shot and like go around naked.
So.
Anyways, but the Christmas Binge, is that it called?
It's a wonderful binge.
It's a wonderful binge. It's on Hulu.
Yep. Okay, The White Lotus. This is over at HBO, right?
Yes, HBO Max.
Yeah.
And it ended. And there was surprises. There was not so surprises, but it ended really well as the first season did.
Yeah, I still think this season could have been 1, maybe 2 episodes shorter. But I was very satisfied with the ending and would like to see another season.
Yeah, but the goal, besides telling a story and talking about telling a story, developing characters, go deep into characters that you think you wouldn't. It feels like one of the goals is, I don't know. Does Mike White have a deal with fancy hotels and resorts out of the world? Because after the show, 55% bump on searches for hotels in Italy, especially Sicily, the Domenico, their hotel.
Oh,
so people want to go to those places.
It is a great long form ad. Look at the lovely time you can have.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't get murdered.
Yeah, and if the theme on the first one was money, the theme on this one was sex, and sex and betrayal and lies. It does have a bit of everything. It is interesting. It's still compelling. Next one, he said that he might go to religion, Eastern, but it was good. If you like murder mystery, this one is definitely one to makes you think. But it's an antithesis of it, because you see a dead body in the beginning, and then you're gonna spend the whole show watching what happened before. So it's like
you don't know who gets killed. You don't know why they get killed. You don't know who kills them.
Yeah.
It's all a mystery, and that's very compelling.
Yeah, it's like watching a Scooby-Doo episode before the guy decides to make a costume, and
Yes.
he's crazy.
Which one of these evil corporate capitalists is gonna dress up like a ghost?
Anyways,
White
Lotus is available on Hulu and had like crazy numbers.
No, HBO.
What I said?
Hulu.
No, not Hulu. HBO Max. It had like really good numbers, like records of viewership, and it's we recommend.
Yep, and I'm predicting season 3, the Maldives.
Yeah.
Okay, not the only murder mystery we watched. We finally got to see the Dexter revival.
New Blood.
Yeah, and I feel like it delivered. It was a lot of what I loved about the first one. There was good character development for everybody. I feel like everybody was like consistent. Well, Dexter was really the only one from the original, but like I feel like his journey stayed consistent, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Deb was there, which was good.
Yep.
This is Ghost Conscience.
Yep.
And there's debates about if the show's gonna get a new season or not. I think that's it. Should end there, as they should end it on the first one. This season is not really it's not really a good final chapter because it takes place 10 years after. So considering that, forget about the final chapter and where it ended. But I guess it could go back in between that, but that wouldn't make sense because apparently when he start doing things again, he says like, it's been so long. So between the end of the original show and the beginning of that, he was controlling his dark passenger on actually he never explained how.
Yeah.
But he was running through the woods and peeking.
Running the woods. He talked about like his routine, how important his routine was.
Yeah.
And then having Deb like yelling in his ear all the time.
Yeah, but it was definitely fun to see Dexter back. Dexter New Blood's available on Showtime.
Yes. Okay, we also finished up Survivor. This is the 43rd season?
Yeah, and Survivor doesn't change much. It's a bunch of people that agree to be abandoned in a beach in an island somewhere. And they will fight for food and small comforts of modern life.
Yes.
In this one, there was a lot of surprises. There was a lot of fun. But the fact that the winner, a former military, a veteran, an old guy, there's a doctor now, donated that $1 million to veteran charities. And yeah, that was the first time someone... and the guy was a nice guy. He
was. And it was interesting to see someone win basically because they were like nice and likable.
And
I feel like that's what got him over the edge. Not like brilliant gameplay, not stunning moves or winning challenges like crazy. Just because everybody liked him.
No, but
nice.
Ty
never won.
He didn't win.
He made it to the top 3.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because he was there once. I mean, not once, twice.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
He made it to the top 3, but he was really, really nice until he wasn't.
Yeah.
And that kind of ruined it for people.
Yeah. No, this guy was under the radar. He was like, he called himself alligator, because as an alligator, he would go under the water and then out of the water. Under the water. And at the end of the reunion, they talked about with the people that voted, and they said, like, yeah, he won me there on that final moment when he talked and he charmed.
Yeah, man, he nailed that jury situation.
Yeah. And he played a little bit of Joe Biden right before I can do fire, I'm not feeling well.
I'm so weak.
And he beat the record of fire in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now it's 4 minutes and some.
And it was a devastating defeat.
Yeah, especially because the other guy was really nice too. Was an underdog, a warrior, taking care of his family.
Yeah.
And anyways,
it was hard to watch.
Survivor 43, it's done. Next season comes in March. Probably the same place. They like Fiji. They stayed in Fiji. Jeff Probst probably bought a part of the country already.
Might have a Fijian passport.
Yeah. They show teasers from the next season, and they have like people. This former NFL that considered himself a Renaissance man. That is a cook. He writes books, and anyways, this kid that works for the FBI. Works for NASA.
Okay.
And did research with the FBI on how to interrogate people to use that in Survivor. And a bunch of other people. It looks intense. March 20-something. Check on your listings on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Yep. Okay, Golden Globes. The nominations were announced.
Yeah, and I was surprised that there's so many Avatar there. I was like, the movie didn't came out. How does that work?
Yeah.
There was another show. What was the show? There was some show there that was like barely came out. What was a big show that barely came out?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But people were nominated.
Yeah, people were nominated, got nominations.
There weren't any big surprises or anything, right?
If there's just... There was some snubs and surprises. I mean, for some people, I guess if you didn't watch or didn't care, some of the things will not bother you. Like the girl from... What's the name of that movie about the mother that loses a son on a racist place?
Oh, shoot. Was it called Till?
Yes,
yeah.
Till.
Yeah.
So that some people wanted her to get a nomination. She didn't.
Interesting. I definitely would have expected
Anna
that.
Moss get nominated. It was a surprise for people because she's Daddy.
That film was such a waste.
It bothered some
freaking
people.
Travesty.
But anyways, but if Tom Cruise not getting a nomination for Best Actor, and I mean,
for
at least
Maverick.
a courtesy. Come on,
Yeah.
but Maverick got nominated, and if there's justice, it will win because movie of the year.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other movie that to slap a stamp on 2022 and tell this year's mine.
Yeah. Maverick is like everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So
all right.
Yeah, there's other things, but we're not gonna delve into that. We might get to talk more about it and it gets closer. We might watch some stuff. There's nominated, but yeah.
All right, let's talk about some news.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, DC Earths.
Yeah. Oh, this is so sad. So back in October, Henry Cavill had announced that he's back as Superman, and fans rejoiced.
Everywhere.
And it was so wonderful and so exciting. And then he posted in classic, like super classy Henry Cavill way, posted saying, "I'm so sorry. It's sad news. I'm out.
Yeah.
They don't want me to be Superman anymore."
So James Gunn, and this week was a lot of rumors, like the reporters saying that James Gunn wants to bring Robert Pattinson to the DC universe. He said no, that's a lie. And then he said it that someone said something about Superman, and he said no, Superman is priority. And then finally came the news that he's writing a Superman movie, but not with Cavill, with a young Superman arriving in Metropolis, which doesn't make sense because on the Snyder timeline, Superman just arrived in Metropolis, and how much younger you want him to be, like a teenager? Anyway, so a fact is that Henry Cavill is out. Everybody's sad because everybody was so excited, and it sounds like more and more that DC is gonna go through a big reboot to everything. There's rumors that almost facts that Momoa is not going to be on Aquaman sequels. It's going to be Lobo.
Yeah.
That The Flash, is already a mess because, the back behind the scenes stuff.
Ezra Miller.
So Shazam and Black Adam, they're like Super Neo might not have a future, so we'll see. He said he wants to write the ultimate story, but in our experience, James Gunn writes stories that are like funny and entertaining, have a little bit of heart, just a little bit, to write something that would have like all heart and yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's probably sounds like it's a Marvelification, a Marvelization of DC, but it's definitely a sad day to lose Henry Cavill. And reading what he said about the character and the respect and honor he has for the character, it's we're losing someone that's not only doing for the money or for politics or for any other reason. He's doing because that's why he left The Witcher, because he was not agreeing with the treatment the character is having.
Yeah.
But he's not done. He's gonna produce and be on a Warhammer 40,000 show for Amazon, and good luck for him. You're gonna watch it. The guy seems to be one of us, have good taste, and yeah.
So sad to see him go, but well, yeah, we'll see. I do look forward to the Warhammer series, especially knowing how much Warhammer means to Henry Cavill, how much he loves that, how much he loves Warhammer. Anyway, there's also rumors that James Gunn is bringing Ben Affleck on to direct.
He does want. They apparently they met. He wants him to direct a movie. We don't know what it is. One thing about Cavill is that Gunn wants him to be another character on the DC universe. Which at this point I was like, screw it. Thanks, you guys. You guys are messed up. I'll go play with my toys and my dog. Crypto. It's not crypto, is it?
Cow.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, he was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I feel so bad for whoever they're bringing on as Superman, because we're gonna be comparing him against almost literal Superman.
Yeah.
So
he's a very interesting person. From the news we learned that Millie Bobby Brown, the set of Enola Holmes, and she said that he avoids to death to talk about personal life.
He's really private.
Job. And also he said several times in the past that he doesn't talk to women because of these days, he's super concerned about being accused of harassing or causing anything. And it's it makes you think on the problems that our society created for ourselves. In some levels, of course, there's problems, but a woman are losing on being talked or being flirted by freaking Superman. Because of how some men treated women and how some women might over-retribute those problems. There's problems there, I'm not denying that. But it's can you imagine that Superman cannot ask a girl out because he's concerned that he's, gonna be misinterpreted. Anyways. But he does have a girlfriend now, so he's happy. A girlfriend, a dog, and a computer, a video game. So he has everything.
He's doing just fine. Patty Jenkins is out, and
another
there's conflicting stories.
Another DC crisis said that DC's leadership said that Patty Jenkins was out, and she left. They said she left, and said no. How is it? I'm missing.
No, I didn't read it, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, DC said she walked away, and she said no, I didn't walk away. They kicked me out because I want this character arc. I gave them the dictionary definition of arc story, and they disagree, so they kicked me out. So yeah, there's that.
Okay, let's see. What else is going on? Let's see if we can get through this.
But there's rumors that her X-Wing movie might have a chance, might still be alive.
Oh, well.
It was shelved, so at this point, nothing official, but we'll see.
Okay. AOC made a movie, and it did terribly. Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I could have told you that.
Maybe if a movie was directed by James Cameron.
Yeah, so they should have gotten together.
Contrary to the popular belief, is not a comedy. She's trying to make an actual movie.
Wasn't it a documentary?
Yeah, it's some environmental green plan bananas.
Gotten together with James Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay, but there is the Wheel of Time showrunner is working on another adaptation for Amazon.
which is good that's gonna have adaptation. It's kind of bad that's gonna be the Wheel of Time, but it's God of War. Kratos, the God of War, is gonna get his live action debut.
Yep.
We'll see.
Guillermo del Toro is on record calling AI art an insult to life itself.
Yeah, and he goes with Hayao Miyazaki. That guy.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I get it. I agree.
Yeah.
Because you have artists. I'm by all means, I'm not someone that can paint, that can draw. I consider that a very, very great talent, to look at a person, and draw, like Jack draw his French ladies. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or draw anything by that matter. I think it's very human. It cannot be done by animals or the animals. It's very us. When you throw that at a computer and the computer does it for you, one might claim that a man created a computer, but it was like the steps in the process. It was like so in the beginning. It's like saying that I don't know. I just kind of understand where they're coming from and where they're going with those kind of comments, and yeah.
Well, it's problematic for a lot of reasons. So apparently is Indiana Jones 5. Did not do well in test screenings again.
Yes, it was really bad. So there's rumors that they're gonna change the Catherine Kennedy ending. You thought it was the KKK?
I was wondering.
And there's a fact. And the fact is, John Williams in an interview said that the movie was done, but he would have to go through reshoots, and he would have to go back. So there's a fact that
I'll have to rescore stuff.
In the whole time machine that we see on the trailer, Indy is like unclassed and he's showing the Nazi time machine, the Die of Destiny, and the whole rumor that at the end he would die, and the girl would take over him and do all his adventures, erasing him from time.
Such a stupid idea.
So I guess it's a victory for the fans. There was a lot of people that fought hard to avoid that, and if they changed, that would be good. But again, Catherine Kennedy sounds more and more like days are counted. What they call it? Days are numbered. At Disney after Indy should be out. We'll see.
Okay. The Santa Claus, the series, has been renewed, so
yeah,
good for them. We
Tim
still
Allen
have to watch
it.
is
our Santa, and he will remain.
Yep. HBO Max, not only did they cancel Westworld, but they're taking it off of the servers are taking it off of the platform.
Yes, so I still don't get it why.
Yeah.
They're also going to do that to Minx. I mean, Minx was cancelled even though it was just renewed, but they're going to take Raised by Wolves, the Nevers, and the Spookies was cancelled as well.
Yep. Sarah Michelle Gellar has finally spoken out about working on Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Joss Whedon, and it's not good.
Yeah, she said it was a very toxic environment, corroborating with pretty much every other woman in the planet.
Yeah, and anyone who's worked with Joss
Whedon.
Yeah. Party Down is getting a revival.
Yeah, we saw a trailer, and the guys are ready to take care of your party.
No thanks. Okay, Barbie. We saw a trailer. This is the Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling Barbie film. The trailer is more of a tease.
It looks funny.
But it looks funny.
It's party. It's colorful.
Yeah.
I
still have no idea. Well, yeah, we look forward to that. Really interesting trailer for a new film called 65, starring Adam Driver. It looks like it sounds so dumb on paper, but I really want to see it.
No, that's actually exciting. He's gonna go to the past. He's gonna find fight dinosaurs.
It sounds dumb. Adam Driver and a little kid, space travel, dinosaurs. It like I said, it sounds like dumb on paper, but in a really fun way.
I take 45 minutes of that instead of 3 hours and a half of Avatar.
Absolutely. I'm not saying. Anyways, it sounds really fun. Okay, we also saw a trailer for Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, the sequel for Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales is gonna meet a lot more Spider-Man. It's exciting because we see Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac. It looks good. It looks intense. We'll see. It doesn't give us much about the story.
Which is what a trailer should be like. We get the vibe. It looks good. I'm excited. Super Nintendo World is opening.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're into that, there will be a Mario Kart attraction.
That's awesome.
Complete with bananas.
Geez.
One can only hope. Okay, so there's a John Wick spin-off film. Is it a film or a series?
It's I think it's a series. No, I think this one is another film.
Okay.
There's a series called The Continental with Mel Gibson.
That's right. Okay, well, this is the movie called Ballerina, and Norman Reedus of Walking Dead fame.
Yeah, joining plenty of other good talented people.
Yeah. Netflix is working on a My Hero Academia movie.
It's a very popular show, Japanese show in America. And definitely, if they make it well, things will come.
Yeah. Do you know this is live action or animated?
It's a good question. Let's hope it's live action. Because movie, they already do movies. They do long versions. Anyways.
Yeah. How's Tulsa King doing?
Doing really well. They hit the wall. The wall that Netflix created. Netflix always on the top. They crushed that wall and rose to the top.
Yeah. Good for them. It's a really fun show. It's not particularly groundbreaking, but it's really fun to watch Sly as a gangster in the wrong setting.
Talk about character, the charisma of the actor and the character.
Yeah.
There's a character that maybe you shouldn't love, but it makes you like, hey, this guy, I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, it works. It's compelling. It's fun. Mythic Quest is getting a spin-off.
It's gonna be called Mere Mortals, and it's not very clear, but it says it's about the lives of employees, players, fans who are impacted by the game.
Yeah.
So
we'll like the poor art department who always has to stay all night.
Deeper into office mode for these people.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be.
I mean, the guys that made the show, the Mythic Quest show, they are talented. The show is hilarious. It's fun.
Yeah.
What she calls the employee?
Freakazoids.
No. She screams at them. Worker.
Yes.
That's only one character.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, and then
it's
lastly,
a moment of the show. We talk about facts, science. We talked about facts all the time, but this one is very science. You go.
Okay, so back in 2022, a meteorite crashed in Somalia, and scientists have been doing their science stuff and researching and studying. They have discovered not one but two minerals in this meteorite that do not exist on Earth.
Oh.
Could one of them be vibranium?
And the other one adamantium.
One can only hope.
Or kryptonite.
Ooh.
But what's the benefits? I mean, not benefits, but what's the point of having kryptonite to having Superman, right? That would be just sad.
I guess we could say that James Gunn is kryptonite.
James Gunn. Anyways, I guess they could do better, but I guess couldn't we all in so many aspects of our lives, right? We make wrong decisions, and I guess they got excited with Peacemaker.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah, especially it's like.
Fans, you all love Henry Cavill as Superman?
Yeah.
Everybody's down with this. Everybody's excited. Okay, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Anyways, but I guess that's it for this week. You said the meteorite said back in 2022. We still in 2022.
No, in 2020.
Oh, you said 2020.
That's what I meant to say.
You said 2022.
The meteorite crashed in 2020.
You said back in 2022.
My bad.
We still have a couple weeks.
Oh,
next week,
so
Christmas
tired.
is coming, so we're gonna see more Christmas stuff. We're finally gonna see Santa Clauses, whatever the name of the show is. The Clauses.
Yep.
We're gonna try to see Violent Night.
Yes, I know the so bad.
Cocaine Bear. I know that's not a Christmas movie, but that has snow. Anyways, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more pop culture news and entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.